y'all, welcome back. Today I am going to do some freestanding lace bat earrings. They are adorable. Hang on, let me turn my camera around. There you go. So this is the gift tag slash ornament slash pendant, and there's the earrings. So I'm able to get all of them in a 4x4 hoop. I have just the earrings. Okay, open up. So here's just the earrings, and they're wide. They're 2.13 inches wide. So they're only one and a quarter, a little over 1¼ inches high. The gift tag is 3.85 inches wide by 2.40 inches high on the gift tag slash pendant slash ornament. So let's get over to the machine and start stitching these things. Hang on a minute. So you're probably wondering why this one is flying sideways. Well, their wingspan is too much for me to get the earrings and the gift tag in the same 4x4 hoop, so I've just rotated him. So the earrings will stitch first, and then the gift tag slash ornament slash pendant, whatever you want to call it. You could even hang him up by thread, and I am going to include a 5x7 version in the file. So it's pretty simple. Let me make sure I have black in here. No, that's that smoky color. Don't want that. Oh, I'm so sorry. I just sent y'all jumping. Let's see here. Thought I already had that, and then I remembered I stitched something last night. And got black in my top. All right, so I think we're ready to go. Let me trim this a little bit. And we're off. So once again, 2 layers of water-soluble stabilizer. I use the Pendant washing gone. You can catch it on sale, and if you do a whole bunch, you know, like I do, I buy a whole bolt. Well, it's not doing the earrings first. Okay, I was wrong. So it does the ears, and then it travels down and does the body. And it's supposed to travel down, and why isn't it traveling down? I know I have a trouble. Alright, I'll have to fix that. Alright, so I'll let this get stitching, and so we won't have a really long video. I'm going to come back when the body is done. The body and the wings. Alright, I guess y'all think I'm nuts. I had taken my sewing foot off, didn't put my embroidery foot on. I made something for my husband last night on the sewing side of this machine. And I want you to look. It's stitched out like it's supposed to without that sewing foot on. I mean, that embroidery foot. Oh my gosh. I came back over here after putting that running stitch in and went, what the heck? Okay, so we're fixed now. So I've already put that, excuse me, that running stitch in to go from the ear to start the body and the wings. So that's been fixed. Oh my word. So I will come back again when this is finished with the body. Alright, so we're finished with the body, and it's time to do his, excuse me, I know it gets louder as I get closer to the phone. Hang on. Alright, it's time to do his eyes and his teeth. Change the bobbins, trim the threads. I haven't trimmed the threads yet, so let me get this bright green in here. Hang on. Alright, I've changed my bobbin. There's a stray thread there. There's a thread there. And because I stopped, there's a thread there. Alright, so we're going to do his eyes. And that is a quick stitch to do his eyes. Alright, so let me trim this that didn't get sucked down, and this little bit that I'm going to have to use my tweezers to get. Oh, shoot. Okay, I gotta trim the back. And it catches the tails, but you're just gonna have to do some trimming. Alright, so let me change to bright yellow. You could make his teeth orange if you wanted. Any color that's really, really bright. But these are fluorescent colors that I'm using. Hang on. Well, this one's not. It's just kind of a bright yellow. So we've got the thread from the eyes. Now we'll see if that'll stay in when it starts stitching. I've cut that thread a little bit more short, a little shorter. Now my machine automatically jumps over to do that other tooth. Can move that particular tooth over a little bit. Alright. Let's trim this thread. So there's thread tail on one tooth and a thread tail on the other tooth. And once again, it's a short tooth. I mean, a short thread. Oh, shoot. Alright, so we're through with the yellow. Let me change threads. Alright, so I've put in a silver color to do this next step. It's some stitching that's inside his ears. And this is why I didn't continue with the black thread. Just in case. What is the deal? Still got to get that thread, little thread that's from his eyes. So I'll mess with that in a little bit. All right, so those 3 colors are quick stitches. And now we're going back to the black thread. And this will stitch quite a bit. And oh dear, that's the smoky color. I don't want smoky color. Okay, I can use smoky color. That's all right. I just don't feel like winding a bobbin. All right, so let me change top thread. I'll be back. All right, while I was off camera, I decided to go ahead and wind a bobbin. Need to use the right color on it because it stitches the satin stitching around this bat and then starts stitching the little bats for the earrings. So you need to have the proper color in. So it goes around and does the satin stitching around his ears and then comes down and does around his head. So you could stitch out the baby bats, the earrings. You could eliminate the loop and then have this one and then have the big 5x7. You'd have a family of bats you could hang up. Alright, so it's going to go all the way around his wings and his body, and it'll do satin stitching around all those areas. And I'm going to go back over and see what I did with his teeth. I'll be back. Well, let me finish letting you see how this stitches before I turn the camera off. Going to pulled up something, I guess. I don't want that little bolt right there, so. Alright, my machine's gonna have to go in. I broke a needle the other day, and I tell you what, this thing is so sensitive. The thread got caught up in the top, and now it's giving me issues. Alright. I'm glad I was sitting here. Another reason not to leave your machine or go too far. I don't know about y'all, but I can hear a tone change when something is wrong. And I go from my computer back to here if I've got something stitching and hit that stop button real fast. And when it got right there a little while ago, I heard a different pitch. Luckily I got my hearing aids in. Alright, so it's just doing the satin stitching around his wings, and it'll go down his body, over the other wing, and come back up to the other side of his head. And then it'll continue and do the loop. It doesn't even stop. or it's not supposed to. Alright, I'll be back when this set stitching is done. Alright, it just finished doing the loop. And now it's going to start the earrings, and I'm going to tell you that it doesn't have the running stitch, but that's what I've just done, is add that running stitch from his ear over to where it starts stitching for his head. Alright, so right here it has, not here, okay, right. Alright, so right there, it'll have a running stitch coming around and going back over to this side so that it won't have that cut. Alright, so he'll do just like the mama bat, we'll call it, up here, and stitch just like her. So I'll be back when it stops to do the eyes and the teeth. Alright, so it's finished stitching the body. I've trimmed the tails on the back, and by the way, I've added the running stitches on the head. I've put in my green bobbin because that's next. Let me change the top thread. Alright, we'll see if it'll suck all that green thread down in there for the eye. No. When I want it longer, it isn't longer. And I'm going to see if I can trim that before it does anything else. Now that has a little bitty jump stitch in there. My machine automatically does it because it's so close. Alright, so now we got to change to yellow. And before I stick that hoop back on, we want to trim these green threads. And yeah, that's what I was afraid of. It caught that longer thread and made a loop out of it. Alright. So now I got to change top thread. Hang on. Alright. So now for the teeth. These are really hard to get because it's so little. Alright, now we got to put in the gray or silver to do that, but let's trim that and that, and I'll be right back. Alright, I've changed my bobbins, trimmed the thread. Whoops, I need to put this back in. Boy, I forget to do that. Get in a hurry. We are going to have lunch with my grandson and his wife and my great-granddaughter. Alright, so we're getting close to being done. So stitching all three of these, it's 28 minutes. And you're about the same if just stitching the earrings. I think the earrings take 14 or 15 minutes. Alright, now to trim those tails. And it sucked it down. I knew it would, so now we gotta trim that mess because it sucked it down in there. And that one didn't, so it looks good. That's the one I held, I think. All right. All right. Put our black in to finish up. Let me change thread. All right. I've changed threads, changed the bobbin, trimmed the tails. And now for the satin stitching and the loop. So to do the satin stitching and the loop on both of these is about 6 minutes. And I will, when these are done, I will wash them out and show you what they look like. So after this one finishes, I'm going to turn the camera off because it's just going to do the same thing over here. And this one's almost done. And then I will be back to show you what they look like after they're washed out. So this will stitch the satin stitch, and at the end it'll stitch the loop in black. It's not a separate color, it's all together in this particular stitch out right now, so you don't have an option unless you stop the machine. Alright, looking good. His teeth are pretty close together, but he's pretty little. Alright, so we're just about done with the wings. Finishes the head and goes straight into the lip. So I will be back in a little bit. Just a minute. For you, just a second. Alright, so there they are, finished. I just have to trim up the threads and go wash them out. These two little threads right here from that last stitch out, and I'll be back just a minute. All right, so before I do that, I want to show you that I can, where's my glasses? There they are. Hold on. If I have my glasses on, I can get in there and get this jump thread with my little squeezers here. And trim that thread to separate those eyes. There it is. Okay, so there's the other thread. So I'm just putting this pointy end in, and be careful. See, I've got it, and I snip and then snip. That's what these can do for you. They're the Femore Titanium, and I've been using them for a year. They haven't been sharpened for a year. November will be a year when they sharpened them for me. But don't use them for anything other than thread. Don't cut fabric with them, just thread. Alrighty, let me go wash them out. Alright, so I've cut this out. Now I've started going and cutting as close to the design without snipping any part of it, just to get as much of the water-soluble stabilizer off as I can. I can't stand that sliminess when I put my hand in there, so I'm trying to get as much off as I can. Plus, I'm going to tell you something that happened. My sink clogged up. I was doing a whole bunch of earrings the other day, and I usually pour it down the sink, and because I've been told, I've seen video after video not to worry, that it won't harm anything, and the plumber had to come out, and he ended up having to go 20 feet. This was my kitchen sink. 20 or 25 feet to unclog. Now, you wouldn't think that this would do it because it washes away. The only thing I put in there that I don't normally is some lettuce, and because I quit using that bagged lettuce. It just didn't last very long. I don't know about y'all, but it doesn't seem like it stayed fresh very long. So I went to romaine lettuce, and it comes on a stalk, and you just use it like regular. That's the only thing, is those little centers of it I don't use. My husband doesn't like them. And they're trying to tell me, he is trying to tell me that it was the lettuce and the carrots. Well, that's hooey. All right, so I trim them down like this. I've got my hot water going. I'll be right back. All right, so here they are washed out. I don't know why it has these little things on the ends, but I kind of like them. I think I'm going to leave them. I guess that's the knot or something. All right, so I'm going to pat these dry. I'll turn them over, and I'm going to put them on this side. So we just save paper towels that we've wiped our hands on or whatever. I'm going to open this up. Okay, nope, I'm going to go get another one. All right.
Are you ready?
Yeah. What time is it? All right.
You need much fruit.
No. All right. So that's what you do. Now you just got to let them dry. Trim those little bitty tiny threads that are hanging off. I think I'm gonna leave that on his ears. I like that. And put your hardware on it. So there's your Halloween bats. All right. I've trimmed these up. Did away with the jump stitch there in between the eyes and put my hardware on it, and we're done with the little bats. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good day and enjoy those bats. Alrighty, bye-bye.